Oh. Dum diddy dum dum da. Plop. How you guys doing? And here she comes, coming down the stretch, round the corner. I don't know, that horse, did it win? It didn't win the second jewel in the Triple Crown yesterday. Did anybody notice? No? Okay, so no Triple Crown winner this year. That's horse racing in the United States. So how's everybody doing? Good? Thumbs up? Okay, this is good. And sister will be better when she gets back.
Yes.
Okay, good to know. So, how many of you guys live in a house that's all on one level? One level. Okay, anybody live on a house with more than one level? All of you? How many of you got three? What are the levels? Describe them for me. There's the basement. What's next? There's the downstairs, and what's the other one? Middle and top? You mean you got a 3-floor? In Nova Scotia you did. That's true. There'd be all kinds of levels and rooms there. So most people have a basement, and sometimes basements are just plain and you store things down there. And some basements are kind of wet, or some basements are nice and dry and they have rec rooms downstairs. Do you guys have a recreation room in your house? So yours is more of a storage basement, is it? Is it finished, Tally? It's finished, okay. You can go down there and do stuff.
That's where we store the older brothers.
That's where you store the older brothers, okay. But you have to let them out for the production of The Boyfriend at the high school, don't you? Which is this afternoon at 2 p.m., final performance. Was he any good?
It's absolutely fabulous.
Absolutely.
They sing, they dance, it's the French Riviera, the Roaring Twenties. It's really good.
All we need to do is resuscitate Fred and Ginger. So, okay, we've got that commercial aside. For those of you watching at home, you've missed it. So, and you've got it upstairs in your house? Now, how do you get down to the downstairs or up to the upstairs from the main floor? Yep, what works in your house? Stairs. Same at your house? So you got stairs. So to get up, you have to climb stairs. So that's one way to get up and down in a building, right? Can you think of another way to get up and down in a building? Yes. Elevator. An elevator. Do we have one of those here? No. May I direct your attention to the rear back corner?
There's a reason why we haven't told her.
Okay. We're going to be putting one in someday.
We need a lock and key.
We do. We have a lock and key. You know what? Sorry, there is an elevator in this church. I would not want to mislead a child. There's an elevator there, but it's only operated with the assistance of an adult. And today, Vern Spear is the designated adult. I don't know if that means the rest of us are children. So you can use an elevator. And you know, there's another way to get up and down in this building. Do you know what it is? Anybody know? Pardon? A ladder. True. We have a ramp. Up here, coming off the parking lot, you come in on the level, you go down a nice gentle ramp, and then if you've got a wheelchair with really good wheels, you can zoom down, and hopefully you stop before you crash into the wall. So 3 ways to go up and down in this church. Pretty good, eh? And 4 if you count the ladder. You can come up with any others? Escalator. escalators, they're very useful, aren't they? You see them in the cities. I don't think, is there one in Mount Forest? You don't have one at your house. With all that renovation you did, you didn't put one in. So an escalator to go up. So today, we're hearing a story a little bit later from the Bible in which Jesus, who's been with all of his followers, it's after Easter, he'd risen, he'd been killed, buried, he'd come back to life, resurrected, and he was with his friends, disciples, for 40 days. And he was teaching them and telling them stuff. Yeah, it's just like, have you seen that cranberry juice commercial? 40 days. And he's with them, and he's teaching them, and then something new is just about to happen. But he needs to go back to heaven to be with God. And, you know, we don't have photographs or videotape or YouTube videos of it. Didn't have that back then. We have a word picture painted for us by a guy named Luke, who wrote a couple of books in the Bible. And so all the disciples that were still there were there, and Jesus was with them, and he blessed them, and he spoke to them, and he said, stick around, stay together, stay in this place. God is going to send you something to give you guys the power, the help you need. But it's not going to be today. You got to wait. And then, in the word picture, or however it happened, Jesus rose up, and he went into a cloud, and they believe he went up to heaven to be with God. Can you imagine that? You guys notice people rising up into clouds every day? Kind of spooky, isn't it? It's not something we normally sense, but somehow it was Luke's way of saying Jesus went home to be with God. So he wasn't just, in that place with just that little group of people. He was with God, near God, for all time and for all people, including you, and you, and you, and you, and you, and you, and even you looking that way. Back to Grandma. And even for Grandma too. So this is a day, 40 days after Easter, that we call Ascension. Because what did he do? He ascended. You know what ascend, another word is for ascend? Yeah. Rose. Or two words, go up. So in their understanding, heaven was up there, and he rose to be with God so he could be there for us forever. And then he remembered the promise he said, you've got to wait. There's going to be a helper. And you know who that helper is? I'm not going to tell you until next week, because you gotta wait. That's what the story says. So I'll look forward to seeing you next week when you're wearing red for the continuation of the story of the church. Time to pray. Ready? Hands together, and let's invite everybody here and everybody at home to join us. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. And one more thing. Thanks for making lunch for us last week. It was really good. So thank you for doing that, all of you who worked together to wish us Happy Mother's Day. I think that means they really liked it, and if you ever want to do it again, they'd like that too.